It's been yet another busy week in the Georgia Sea Turtle Center Hospital. We've had a couple more releases, several interesting new patients, and preparations for both Diamondback Terrapin and loggerhead sea turtle nesting season continue. Catch up with the GSTC in this week's hospital update. Pablo, our juvenile green sea turtle patient who arrived in January of this year after becoming stranded with no obvious injuries, fully recovered and headed back home on April 7th. Along with Pablo, a newer Kemps Ridley sea turtle that was caught on a fishhook back in March was also released. The way the fishhook was positioned in this patient meant that the hook could not be removed through the mouth, so surgery was required. That's why this patient needed to stay a little longer than most fishhook sea turtles. But now, hook-free, this Kemps Ridley seemed happy to go home. A common snapping turtle had a brief stay in our hospital. Found by our research team on Jekyll Island, this freshwater turtle was looking fairly lethargic. After a thorough exam and a few days of rest, fluids, and food, he seemed perky enough to be released and is once again roaming Jekyll Island. A new green sea turtle arrived this week with quite a few extra attachments. This turtle, named C20049, meaning it is the 49th turtle patient of this year, was found stranded on Sapelo Island. It was covered in algae and mud, but also many living barnacles still attached to its head. If you watch this video closely, you can see the barnacles moving and feeding in the water. When sea turtles slow down from illness or injury, it's pretty common to see them covered in all sorts of creatures, which we call epibiota. Generally, these barnacles can be easily removed, and this turtle was cleaned up within the same day. Now resting in shallow water with a barnacle-free head, this little friend has been eating well and gaining strength. Preparations for sea turtle nesting season continue. Our research team recently prepared all the stakes, which will mark each sea turtle nest along our beaches. Sea turtle nesting season runs from May through July along our coast, so it won't be long before we see our first mama. Sea turtles aren't the only nesters this time of year. May through July is also when Diamondback Terrapins emerge from the marsh and cross the Jekyll Island causeway in search of a nesting spot. Mortality rates are usually quite high in the summer, as many of these terrapins are struck by vehicles. Our Diamondback Terrapin team is preparing to begin causeway patrols to ensure as many terrapins as possible are saved. Please remember that, all over the country, this time of year as the weather is warming, all sorts of turtles become more active and begin looking for mates and nesting spots. To help out these shelled friends, stay aware when you are on the roads, and if it is safe for you, feel free to give them a helping hand across. Those are our updates this week. To stay updated on all the latest happenings at the GSTC, follow our Facebook and Instagram. Have a safe week, everyone, and keep swimming.